What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Feel free to subscribe, like videos, leave comments, join my community tab. You can also follow me on Twitter. Also check out a new site that's in beta test. It's probably going to be released publicly in the next probably 6 months or so. It's called post.news. I did a review the other day. Feel free to check out that video or a couple other videos out here on my channel next. If you like what you see, feel free to contribute to the online fundraiser, check out my ebooks, and do what you do. Today I'd like to really get into things. I think in the last probably 5 or 10 years, with a lot of people being online 24/7, the whole 24-hour-a-day news media cycle, and of course the ability to create content by 99% of the population, I think, gives kind of sensory and information overload, which causes people not to think for themselves. While this is the case, especially for your teens, tweens, even sometimes 20s and 30s, I think a lot of your old people that don't know what's going on because they never had, 50 types of content 24/7. But while at the same time, you got a lot of younger people between the ages of say 10 and probably 35 or 40, they're kind of immersed in the, constant stream of, whatever happens to be, no matter who it's from, what time of day, etc. Now, personally, I think, a lot of people, if they create content, engage with people, deal with society on any intelligible level, that would, remove a lot of the misconceptions, a lot of the people that are scared to, barely know their first name, that kind of thing. But then you get people that go online and try to be fake versus creating content, whether it be blog posts, news articles, online communities, YouTube channels, and other actual, intelligent forms of media. And I think to some extent, Snapchat and other, social media apps like Twitter might be partially to blame, but I think a lot of it comes from people not taking 10-15 seconds to think for themselves. There's a good cartoon series on YouTube that was originally on Newgrounds, Foamy the Shit-Talking Sarcastic Squirrel, and them, that this guy by the name of Jim Mathers that does the voice and does the animation and that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty self-explanatory, a lot of the videos, but check that out if you're interested. I mean, I've been watching that for probably 20 years. Again, it was just prior to YouTube, and now probably a fairly big channel. Another good channel to watch, if you're just wanting to, see how idiotic society is getting, is a Reddit review channel called MK, EMKAY. Check that out too while you're at it. I mean, some of the stuff, whether it be Crackhead Craigslist, also known as Craigslist, or of course then you got on Reddit people, talking smack and thinking they're cool. And another few creators out here, Charlotte Dobre, Little Leah, SS Sniper Wolf, Alonzo Lerone, and others, Nate Black of Channel Makers, and there's Nick Nimmin, a guy that got going back in the day, Greg Solomon, he's pretty cool. Check out those videos. There's a lot of content out here. I've always done content pretty much the entire, YouTube lifespan. So now you learn how to discern, what's going on and those kind of things, which helps with critical thinking. But you also, find a lot of other people's points of view on different subject matter. I think it's, whether you make a 5-minute video discussing something, I mean, that's far better than making 30 seconds dancing around in circles being a spaz. I remember a bunch of morons one of the biggest idiots out of the group was out of the Tempe and Phoenix, Arizona area by the name of Edward Foster. Now, if you online back between, I'd say 1997 and probably 2007 or 8, more than likely you've had to own his punk ass and his boyfriends, Lenny, Roger, David Hoskins, etc. Now, if you don't know who they are, it's probably best, but it's six of one, half dozen of another. I mean, these are people that would post 500 copies of the same thing, thinking they were doing something, and then when they get their shit shut down, they'd cry to everybody and their mother, thinking that, that one person's actually 80 people, I mean, that's the whole mental scope of these idiots. So it's probably, if you didn't know them, it's probably a good thing. If you ran into them over the last 15, 20 years, you probably had to smack them down a couple times. I know one time you tried to create a wannabe site or whatever, showing like a rolling counter of people that actually had to own his punk ass every day of the week, at least on days ending in Y. But like I said, people like that, I think, got your older generations in their 50s, 60s, 70s that didn't know basically how to turn on a computer to be scared of the internet. And it's, kind of sad because when you look at sites like Twitter, Post.news, YouTube, PHPBB, WordPress, self-hosted websites where you can learn HTML, JavaScript, actually learn some kind of content creational skills, it's like so many people forego doing that to dance around in circles in their room for like 3 minutes thinking that's going to make them YouTube famous. I mean, if they don't, kind of show what, this generation's about, then, I think, people need to look at society now versus 10 or 20 years ago. But anyways, feel free to check out my channel. If you like what you see, feel free to share videos on Twitter, YouTube, channels, etc. Like, comment, check out my community tab. We'll see you next time.